Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Getting ready to go to work. Had a few days off. I had to go to my assembly. It was nice. I really enjoyed my time off. Now I got to go back and get back on the grind. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. I don't do too many videos anymore of black men talking about black men bashing black women, but it's something that I need to get off my chest, and it's something that needs to be said. I was watching the video. You guys, I don't really because I'm not going to give, I wasn't going to be giving those men too much uh, attention. Um, and there's so many other things so many other issues and so many other things that I could be talking about. But I just looked at a video tonight. I wasn't even going to do a video today, but I was looking at a video tonight. Um, Tommy Sotomayor. I don't hardly talk about him too much on here because I'm not even gonna give him no attention. But anyway, he was saying something about this young man, got a bunch of scholarships, and he proceeds to start bashing the mother. I think that's a wonderful thing that this young man got all these scholarships. He worked hard. I guess I don't know. I guess he said something about him living in the projects or whatever. Um, First time me hearing the story was him talking about it. I just stumbled across it. And all he can do is sit there and bash the mother and talk bad about the mother. And so, um, I usually, because I know how he is and I know what he does and everything. I know how he is. I usually just kind of just. But every now and then, um, so I said, what, what? Come on, why you gotta bash the mother? You know, um, so that brings me to my topic: attention, black women bashers here on YouTube. This is what I want to say. There's a difference between telling the truth about a certain segment of black women that's out there because not all black women are, when you guys talking about black women doing this and that and the other, being bad mothers or whatever. First of all, you got bad mothers in all races. It's not just black women don't have the market cornered on that. You have bad mothers of all races, but they never talk about those other races. They always talk about, if you are passionate about what's going on with black single motherhood in the black community, and I really don't think it's about being passionate about it. I think it's about being judgmental because they said, well, we're speaking the truth. Well, it's the difference between speaking the truth and then judging someone and putting down somebody and talking about somebody. And that's what they do. They sit there and they bash black women. They sit there and judge the black women. They dog the black women. Don't try to find out the reasons why the black woman is in the situation that she's in. Don't never try to find the reasons. Don't never try to find out what's going on with the black woman psychologically, emotionally. There's all kind of factors that involve um, why black women are in certain situations. And on top of that, there's only a certain percentage of black women that fit into the category that they even be talking about. But then they sit up there and try to say, well, I'm not talking about all black women, but then the way you word things, it's the way, it's the wording. It's the wording that is used. The wording implies that you are talking about all black women the way you word it. That you are implying that all black women are that way. But you turn around and say, I'm not talking about all black women, but then the wording implies that you are. So, ain't nobody stupid. So, um, I'm not rocket science, but hey, I know the difference between, you know, generalizations and, you know, anyway, that, I don't know, this kind of ruffled, like I said, I usually just kind of just blow him off because I know how he is and everything. And the rest of them, most of the time, I don't even watch them or anything. But this, I don't know, this kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit. This wasn't your typical black women that is supposed to be so-called ratchet and um, being a bad mother. This wasn't your typical video where he typically discusses that. But this was a young black man that got awarded many scholarships because he worked so hard in school. I guess apparently the mother has other children that and she had a couple of children that had some heart issues. I don't know the whole situation just by what I'm just going by what he was saying on this video. And all he can do is sit there and badmouth the mother, talk about how fat she is and all this kind of stuff and living in the ghetto. And I said, you know what? There's a difference between judging and telling the truth. And it's just ridiculous. I said, why you gotta attack the mother? You know, it's like um, when this young man, this is quite an accomplishment. Apparently, his mother must have instilled something positive in him in order for him to do what he did, regardless of the situation that they're in. She must have instilled something positive in him in order for him to do what he did. So instead of him giving her credit where credit is due, he wants to sit there and call her fat and all this kind of stuff. And um, what they never talk about is they never talk about the fathers. They never say nothing about the fathers. If the kids are in a bad situation or whatever, they never talk about the fathers. Like they never, you know, berate the fathers and say, well, okay, the father's not there, or why come the fathers are not there, blah, 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 A, B, and C. They never do that. They always talk about the mothers. They always bash the mothers all the time. And so my point that I want to make is that to all you black men on here that like to bash black women, I'm not just singling Tommy out, but it's a whole bunch of them on here. To all you black men that like to bash black women, not all black women. It's a lot of good black women out here, and you need to talk about both sides of the coin. You need to talk about the good black women. It's all black women are not bad. And the fact that you want to point out all the negativity all the time and want to sit there and degrade black women and put black women down all the time, that's a reflection of you. That shows your self-hatred. That shows your low self-esteem. Your self-esteem is low. You don't feel good about yourself. You got some mommy issues. You got some issues with your mother. That you upset with your mother, and now you want to sit there and take it out on all black women. Even when a black woman is doing something positive, you want to find something negative about her, and you want to sit there and badmouth her. And I don't know. That's like I said, I usually just blow it off because I know how he is, but um, that just kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit because I'm like, okay, why is you sitting here talking about her? This young man, this is quite an accomplishment, for this young man, that he made it against all the odds and he got all these scholarships. That's a beautiful thing. She must have instilled something positive in him in order for him to do something like that. And so for him to sit there and berate her, call her fat, calling him fat and all this kind of stuff, you don't never know. That's one thing we should never do. And I say we, I'm talking about me and I'm talking about everybody. We should never sit back and talk about people and sit back and judge people because you don't never know what their situation is. You don't never know why they're in the situation they're in. You don't know what is going on with people. It is not a loving thing to do, and God don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. And you don't know what situation this mother, they said at one time they were homeless. You don't know what situation they was in. He's talking about she's sitting up there when she sat up there and had a bunch of kids and all that stuff. So what does that got to do with the young man accomplishing getting the scholarships? What does that got to do with anything? What does the fact that she's got other kids have to do with him getting the scholarships? That ain't got nothing to do with that. But she said up here kept having kids and all this kind of, what does that have to do with anything? That's irrelevant. That has nothing to do with the fact that the young man uh, got all these scholarships, worked really hard in school and got all these scholarships. That is a wonderful accomplishment, and for him to sit up there and find something negative in it, to find something negative to say about the mother. And that's what I want to say. Stop judging and putting down all black women, regardless of whether the black woman do something good. If the black woman do something good, you still got something negative to say. That's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous, you know, because there is a lot of good black women out here. There are a lot of good black mothers out here. A lot of good black mothers. I know so many good black women out here. I know so many good black women in the organization, not just in the organization, but in in all walks of life. I know great black women. I know all kinds of good black women. And they don't fit into the category of what he's talking about. You know, not all black women are sitting up there with a bunch of kids. Statistically, I think the birth rates are low for our statistically. I think the birth rates have went down. Don't quote me, but I think statistically, I think the birth rates have went down for black women. Statistically, there's a lot of black women that out here that don't have children, but they never say anything about them. You know, there's black women. I got two of my nieces in my family don't have any kids. One is in her 30s, another one is in her 20s. Neither one of them have children, and they're educated. My youngest niece has got she got her own little business going on. She got her own little editing business going on. She got a master's degree. I'm so proud of her. Neither one of them have children. Okay, neither one of them. My older sister don't have any kids, and she's my older sister doesn't have any children out of wedlock. She don't have any kids. There's three. That's three in my family. There's three black women in my family that don't have kids. I know other black women out there that don't have any kids. That's not in my family. Not the ones I mentioned, or three in my family that don't have any kids. I know a whole lot of black women out there that don't have any kids. They're hardworking. They're educated, all kind of things. So, but they never ever ever talk about them. They never ever talk about. If they did, they would have something negative to say about them. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, you black women bashers. Stop putting your insecurities off on black women because you don't feel good about yourself and your self-esteem is low and you got issues with your mama. That ain't got nothing to do with the rest of us black women out there. And I'm so over it. And you need to talk about the positive things that black women are doing instead of always talking about the negative. You know, and stop putting your insecurities off on black women because you don't feel good about yourself, because your self-esteem is low, because you depressed, you feeling bad about yourself, because you got issues with your mama. What does that got to do with the rest of us black women out here? And then you see a black woman out here that's raising a son and he did something positive, and now all you got something to do is say negative about her. Nothing but negative things about her. Because you don't feel good about yourself, because your self-esteem is low, because you feeling bad about yourself. And then he wonder why he's in the situation that he's in. But I don't want to get all on the tangent of all. I want to get into all that. But I'm over it. You guys are not passionate about what's going on in the black community. All you want to sit there and do is put down black women, berate black women, and make black women feel bad. And then paint a horrible picture about black women to other races of people. And let me tell you something. God don't like ugly. And he ain't too crazy about pretty either. Just think about that. And you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Remember those. Remark my words. Remember that. God hears everything that you're saying. He hears everything that's coming out your mouth. He hears everything. Jehovah God hears everything that's coming out your mouth. He knows our thoughts. He knows our thoughts. He hears everything that is coming out your mouth. And we are even held accountable for what we say. We have to be careful of things that we let come out of our mouths because we're held accountable for things that we say. So think about that. Stop putting off your insecurities on black women. Stop it. Stop. Go to a therapist. Get some help. You got problems. pray and ask God to help you. But stop coming on here bashing black women. Don't make no difference whether this black woman does something positive or whatever. You still got something negative to say about her. Black women can't get cut no breaks no matter what we do. I don't know. I seen that, and I just, like I said, I know how he is, and I just, most of the time I'm like, just blow it off, whatever. And most of the time I don't even be watching his stuff, but I just stumbled across that every now and then. I'll take a peek, but I stumbled across that, and I'd say, "Oh, what is he? This young man got one with this scholarships. What he got to say about this? Unbelievable." So, I mean, that just kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit when I seen that. It just kind of ruffled my feathers a little bit because I'm like, okay, this young man did something good. He accomplished this against all the odds. His mother must have obviously instilled something positive in him in order for him to do that. And here he still want to badmouth the mother. Still want to disrespect and badmouth the mother. Because you don't feel good about yourself. That's what it all boils down to. You got low self-esteem. Guess we need to keep them prayed up. Guys, I guess we need to keep them prayed up. That's all we can do. I just had to get that off my chest. That was on my chest, and I had to get that off my chest. I was going to do a chat and vent video today. I'm still, just wasn't motivated. Um, Feeling some type of way. But I'll probably might wind up doing that tomorrow. But that's my vent for the day. I was going to do a chat and vent video today. I was just going to talk about different things and whatever, but that's my vent for the day. You may get that video tomorrow. Let me know. Sound off in the comment section or what you think. I need you to like and I need you to subscribe to my channel. I got to get ready to go to work. Stay tuned for some more interesting video topics coming up. Peace and love. This is Sweet Jude.